Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Multiuniversum is a little small puzzle game in the pandemic vein from Gray Fox Games. It has a very good heritage to it, and I feel like that this game works pretty well. I think a lot of people are going to like this, not really understanding why it didn't kind of click more with people. As for me, the theme that's put onto it doesn't really strike me. It's not something that I'm very much interested in. It might even be a negative for me, but I understand in the gaming world, I think I'm in the minority on this. It's a pretty fun little puzzle game. It does have a solo variant, which I liked quite a bit, and I think that this would work if more people had it in their hands. If you like the puzzle aspect of Pandemic, I think you're going to like this one, and it's also a cooperative game where you're working together to get these portals set up. Now, it's not the greatest game in the world. I think Pandemic is a better game, for sure. But I think that if you're playing Pandemic, and you want something a little different, this is definitely something you can jump into, and it has that solo variant I think you'll enjoy a lot. Now, the game, one of the biggest attractions for me was the downtime. I felt like the game had some downtime. You really had to think your turn through and kind of puzzle through this, what's going on. And there's some cooperation and conversation you can have about it, but it did kind of drag things down, and 4 or 5 player count, that downtime can be quite large. Now, if your group is just like, hey, let's do this and see how this works out, you might lose something from the game, but it definitely will move quicker. So you can have that push and pull about what you want. I think with a different theme, I think with a new edition, this is something that I probably really want to keep and play more. At the end of the day, I can only have so many of these in my collection. This theme didn't rock it to me. I think there was a little bit of downtime issues in it, and a little bit of the iconography that was in it, and just the overall look of the game didn't appeal to me. But I feel like this is a strong game that you probably haven't heard of. While it's a purge for me, it's one I'm definitely going to recommend you to check out. So check this one out, especially if you're a solo gamer. Here's Multiuniversum. This is a very small box, very, very portable that you get into, and very colorful. And I actually think the box is a lot more attractive than what you're going to get inside of it, just to be honest. I think that this is a really cool picture of some kind of robot or something. Inside you're going to get a rulebook, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. And then very easily you're going to get some of these little meeple guys. They're called scientists in the game, and I guess they have like a little beaker next to them. Super, super cute. Those are going to be really, really popular. And then some cards, quite a bit thin here. You get a lot of times from Gray Fox Games, the cards aren't as great. I mean, you get some nice artwork on them, I suppose. I really don't know how this all fits with the theme. I guess these are portals you're going through. And then the main cards you're going to see are just going to have icons on them. So not a whole lot of theme here on what you're doing. The cards are okay. I think if you're going to play this game a lot, you're definitely going to need to sleeve these. It's not going to rip. Feels like it's going to rip. I don't know if that has any bearing on you whatsoever. That's all the components you're going to get in the game. As for the rulebook, you get a picture of the base thing. A little bit of a story here with a picture. It is what it is. You're going to have the goal of the game, contents, but no pictures. That's a little crazy for me. I was learning how to play. Game setup with a picture here. Explanation of the components. I actually like this quite a bit. Kind of go over all the components before you even learn how to play the game. And then playing the game is here. This is all it is. So you're going to be able to resolve an action, prepare one, which is tucking it, or discard a card. That's it. And then at the end, you just draw up if you need to. As an example, play right here, a player turn that you'll go through. End game and how to final score. You can have some variants over here if you want to play different ones. And the solo rules will be here. And that's all there really is. The back is going to have a reference on it. So I found the rulebook to be very good. I was able to read it probably about 15 minutes. And, if you're a slow reader, maybe 20. And I would imagine, like, if you're going to learn this, the easiest way is to take the solo rules and start playing. Is kind of go through a turn and learn the icons. The hard part are going to be these icons that you're going to have in the game. They become more intuitive as you play, but really this is the game right here. 15 minutes, 20 minutes max. Okay, the first thing you do to set up is you're going to take a number of these portals based on what the rulebook says. You're going to shuffle them together, and you're going to place these kind of face up, and you're going to end up with 5 of these piles. So you have these portals, and you're going to shuffle them in a certain way for the 5 players, and then I'm trying to keep this as light as I can. You're going to have these cards that will be out, and these will be the cards that your meeples will be moving around on the board, and each of these are going to be lined up with one of the portals. Each of the player will get a scientist card, which will just represent the color that they're going to be. And the remainder of the cards are shuffled up. Everybody's going to get 3 cards, And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards will be placed over here as a discard pile. You will not be taking cards from this unless you're allowed to take from the discard pile. We'll kind of put it up there. And then you have your deck of cards here that you will draw from. So if you're playing a 5-player game, each of the little scientists will start out on their color. If you are colorblind, you can use the numbers that are attached to these. On your turn, it's very easy. I'm not going to go over all the icons or whatever. I'm just going to kind of give you the flow of the game. Let's say you're the blue player. If you're on blue, which the blue player will start on the blue card, then you can utilize any of the blue powers. It's going to let you move. These will let you draw cards is what these are going to do. So let's say I want to use one of these actions. I would set this aside, and I would just draw 2 cards from the top of the deck into my hand. There's no hand limit in this. That's my one action. You're going to have 3 actions you do. Say I want to play this one, and I want to move to a location. Let's say that I'm trying to accomplish this card, so I want to move there. And then for my 3rd action, I can tuck this under my card, and now I have this saved up. What I'm trying to do is get a purple and a blue, because I'm at this location, saved up so I can accomplish this. If I was to have, let's say I had a purple and a blue under here, and I'm at the red location, I have one of these portal ones in hand, I can play this card as an action, take these 2 cards, discard them, and I would take this card from the portal, and I would score the number of points, and there's a set collection that's kind of attached to it, and I would have this card for my end of game scoring. The game's going to end when 3 of these portal stacks out of the 5 are empty. Then you add up who has the most points, and that's the winner of the game. Let me reiterate what's going on. You're going to be playing these cards for the actions. The actions, if you're colorblind, use the numbers, otherwise use the colors. So if I'm on the green, I could do this action. If I'm on the yellow, I can do this action. You're going to take 3 actions a turn. You can always take less, but it's probably not beneficial for you to do so. You're trying to save up these icons underneath your cards. And if you have the icons, you can give it up and score the points. Very easy game, very puzzly game of what you're trying to do here. Who should buy this game? If you're into those puzzly cooperative type games, so first, cooperative. Second, you like the puzzle type cooperative. You can figure it out as you go. There's a little bit of a puzzle involved in that, and you like kind of shaking that up. The game does have some downtime, so if you're not worried about that, I think that you will enjoy this game more. And I think it's a step up from Pandemic, but if you like Pandemic, I think you can slide in this one quite easily. You know, I would probably tell you to go down to Thunderbirds after Pandemic, or maybe this after Pandemic. I think you'd be happy in both. If this theme or this kind of thematic nature, what you're doing in this game speaks to you, I think it would rise it up for you. If you're looking for a cooperative game that's very good price, comes from a very great company, with a lot of pedigree, this will certainly do it for you, and one I can recommend to you. Well, it's a Purge for me. I think this could speak to a lot of people, and it might have been a game a lot of people missed out on.